me.
Everyone thinks they know the Chris Watts case. But what if I told you that buried in 2,000 pages of discovery documents, there's a name that keeps appearing in the shadows? Someone who was never formally questioned, never sat for a recorded interview, and whose timeline that week has more holes than explanations. Her name is Nichole, and the deeper you dig into her movements, her messages, and her curious behavior in the days surrounding that August morning, the more you realize this case might have had a co-conspirator hiding in plain sight. Dear God, as we remember Shannon, her 2 kids, and her unborn baby Nico, may their souls rest in peace. Lord, protect our families from every evil. Please type Amen in the comment. Let me know how much we remember them. And families, please take a moment and tell us where you are watching from. Comment. Let me know how much we remember them.
And again, like, I think he's just saying all this to me to try to cover his tracks with me. Like, I don't know what he told you guys, but I bet it's probably very different. And I think that what he said to me, it was, like, directed towards me. Like, this whole bullshit little box lie that he had right there was, like, the lie directed.
Did he say when the argument started?
Nope. He just said it was in the morning. He said he woke her up in the morning.
Okay. Did he say when she came home? Did he ever let you know that?
I think I want to say he said around like 2, but I don't know.
Okay. And then he woke her for what purpose?
Because she asked him to.
Okay.
So I was under the impression that he was asleep. I'm assuming this is how it like went, and what he was trying to tell me is that he was asleep by the time she got home, and she sent him a text and said, "Wake me up before you leave." And then he woke her up, and they got in an argument, and then he went to work.
Okay.
That's how I processed.
And the context of that argument again was just she's pregnant. And is there anything else that he shared with you?
He did not elaborate on it, and I didn't ask.
What were you thinking at that time?
This was like on Monday. Again, at that point, I was like, I still thought she left. I mean, this was all on Monday. Like, I legitimately thought this woman left the premises with her kids and just wanted nothing to do with him for like 24 hours.
So his story was believable that she was pregnant from another man and maybe she took off for that guy, or...
He said several times, like, I think she just said that out of spite.
Okay.
Like, he thought she was with one of her friends.
So he held true to that story.
Pretty much.
She's just leaving and she's with a friend.
That was kind of what he thought. And that's kind of what he had me believing. And at the time, I wasn't really alarmed because it had been like a half a day.
Sure.
And so then Tuesday rolled around and...
Did you see him at all on Monday? You said you didn't,
no,
right? Earlier.
I did not see him. And I went to work Monday.
Did he ever try to convince you to come see him or say he wanted to come to your house?
No, not at all. We were supposed to go pick out apartments to go look at on Wednesday, so yesterday. But that obviously...
Right. So on Monday he never tried to be convincing to get you to come up to see him?
No.
Nothing?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think so, because I had my buddy Jim was over Monday and Tuesday, and he knew Jim was over Monday and Tuesday, and that's why we were going to hang out on Wednesday.
Okay.
So no, he didn't ask me. So Tuesday rolled around, and she still wasn't around, and this is when I started getting kind of sick. Like, my friend Jim was sick on Monday when he came up, and I don't know. I just started feeling like crap as it was, and then I was just kind of having a hard time focusing and like thinking about what was going on. And I'd asked him a few times. I'm like, "Where's your family, Chris? Like, where's your family?" You know, and he would tell me like, "Oh, I don't know," or "I want them home." Like, I asked like several times, so I think I got different responses, but each time like he didn't know where they were. You know, and I'm like, "She's still not home," and he's like, "No." And I had also asked him to like. He said he had a friend, Dave, that was a cop, which I also find convenient that there's another Dave working this case who's a cop. But I was like, well, Dave's off. Why don't you just have him like post up outside your house too and see if she shows up? you know, and he told me on Tuesday morning, he was like, I called Dave and asked him to sit outside my house, and he's going to do it. And he's like, and then my friend Nick is coming over later on this afternoon. And I was like, okay.
Did you ever hear Nick's name before?
I've actually heard that name a few times, like, around him. Like, there's certain... I never heard Dave before. Dave was new, but I've heard the name Nick a lot, so I don't know if that's, like, real or what, but if I was to guess, like, friends that he, like, legitimately has, I would assume that he was one of them. But, yeah, because I know he's told me before, like, when we first started hanging out, that Nick lived kind of in the area, and he's like, he actually goes... He's a trail runner, and he's like, he runs at East Lake number 3.
So he lives in your area?
Kind of.
Okay.
And I remember him saying that to me once. He's like, you know that park that we, like, hung out at? I was like, yeah. He's like, my buddy runs over there. We should not go to that park anymore. And I was like, okay. That's cool. And, anyways. Where were we at?
Tuesday morning.
Tuesday morning.
We're almost done.
I know, I'm trying to just keep it all together here for you guys. Tuesday morning. Oh, so he said Dave was going to stay outside of his house, and Nick was going to come over that afternoon. I was like, all right. And then, I think most of the texting throughout that day was kind of like, have you heard anything? Like, what's going on? It was kind of like me checking up on him. And I don't remember everything, but it wasn't... I didn't even make it through the entire workday. Like, I was feeling really, really sick, like, in general. And then I decided on my lunch break to get on the internet and look at what was going on with all the reports. And I saw a report that was like, this woman who's 15 weeks pregnant and her 2 daughters are missing. And I was like... whoa, what? And I was just like so floored, and I read a couple other articles just to make sure that, you know, all the newspapers are, and like just double check, like, am I really reading this right? And I'm like, okay. And he had told me previously, like, she says she's pregnant with another man's kid, but he'd said, like, he could kind of tell in North Carolina, but that girl is like obviously pregnant. I mean, in her photos. I mean, 15 weeks, that's like 4 months. That's pretty far along. And so it's like, how would you not know if she's showing? Like, you totally know she's showing. And so, oh my God, I got so sick. I was just like, I need to go. I just like packed my stuff and I left work and I went home, and I remember I told Jim that I was going to get home early, and he wanted to come over right away, and I was just like, I just needed some time to like process what was going on. But I did tell him, I was like, you can come over earlier than you did yesterday, because he didn't want to wait in traffic. That was the thing. He's like, save me some time. So I don't remember what time he got there. I probably still have that text, because I don't have any reason to delete those. But he came over a little early, but I did have like a gap of time in there. I don't know how long it was. I bet it was like from the time I got home to the time Jim got there, but it was probably like, I don't know, hour and a half maybe, somewhere around there. I remember talking to Chris during this time, and it was like all text. I did not talk to him on the phone at all on Tuesday. And I was pretty upset, where I was just like, you know, I was going back and forth, like, where's your family, this and this and this, but I'm like, she's pregnant, you know, and this and this, and he's like, the baby's not mine, and I'm just like, you told me yesterday that you think that when she said that she cheated on you, she did it out of spite. And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, so then it's your kid. And he kept denying it. And then, like, he started, like, kind of worrying about us. He'd just be like, well, does this ruin everything with us, this and this and this? And I'm like, no. I'm like, just trying to, like, his situation is so much more important right now than, like, our situation.
But his main concern is you and him.
Kind of, sort of. I mean, and I keep, like, asking him, like, I'm like, and I told him numerous times, which is also in the text that you guys will pull, where I'm just like, you need to focus on finding your kids and your wife right now. And I was like, and you need to focus on finding all 3 of your kids. And I, like, kept, like, emphasizing to him, like, he had 3 kids, you know? And, like, I wasn't even, like, mad about it. I was just like, you need to find your family.
Did he ever go look for them that you know of?
I don't know. I don't think so. That, like, doesn't even, like, ring a bell to me, so I don't think so.
Okay.
But, oh, and I forgot something else that's really important. I'll add it in there, too, but let me just finish this thought. So then, Tuesday, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. So I kept telling him, I was like, Chris, I know it's yours. It's okay. I was like, go find your family, you know? And it's like, was I hurt? Yes. But at the time I realized, like, his situation with what he had going on was, like, way more important than, like, our situation. And so that's why I was just like I confronted him about it. And then I was like, you need to go find them. And, like, we talked about it for a little while. And then I was just like, I don't remember exactly how it went, but something along the lines where I was like, why can't you just be honest with me? I was like, stop lying to me. Like, stop lying.
Did you have an inclination? You've talked to this man a lot. And during this Tuesday, Wednesday conversation, did you feel like he was bullshitting you?
A little bit, kind of, yeah. I mean, because he was like, not Monday. Monday I did not. But Tuesday, yeah, that's when it all started to click. I was like, oh my goodness, because he was like, well, like, he just didn't seem as, like, concerned as he should be, and he was, like, super worried about shit with us, and I'm just like...
So concerned about his family and overly concerned about your relationship.
Yes.
Okay.
And I kept, like, trying to put it on the back burner, and shame on me for bringing it up in the first place. I was just really taken back, like, wait a minute. She's 15 weeks, like, how would you not notice that? Like, I was just, like, I was confused. And I was also like, is he lying to me? And I kind of wanted to know because I realized that, like, there's a situation at hand here, and I'm just like, what is going on? You know, and for part of it, it wasn't even, like, me trying to find out because I'm upset. It was almost like me trying to find out because I'm like, is there something else I'm missing here? Like, I felt like there was, like, pieces to this puzzle that I didn't know existed that were, like, not in place, and it was strange. And so, anyways, I told him, I was like, be honest with me. I was like, don't lie. And I don't remember exactly how it went, but I was, like, trying to emphasize, like, stop bullshitting me. So he told me the truth. And he told me it was his, and then he knew about it.
Okay.
I was like, okay. And then he asked me again, like, did that ruin everything? And I was like, no, it didn't. And in the back of my head, it's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm not dealing with that. Don't lie to me. But his situation is so critical right now that's, like, I'm not going to, like, ruffle his mental feathers because they're already, like, really ruffled because of the situation. So, like, out of respect for his mental health, I just, like, dropped it. And I just kept telling him, like, we're okay, we're okay, we're okay. But
how many times do you think he asked you during these phone calls?
Oh, it wasn't phone call. This was text.
Pardon me.
Text Tuesday.
Text Tuesday. How many times do you think he brought up your relationship and if you guys were okay?
Probably like 2 or 3 times.
And how many times did he bring up concern for his children or his wife?
I think he brought it up a lot too. I mean, he kept telling me that he was, like, worried about them. Okay. I mean, it happened. It wasn't like he was just, like, spaced out. I mean, he was definitely showing that too. I was just surprised that he was, like, also showing it for me. Because at that moment, if I had some crazy stuff going on with somebody in my family, I would be putting all my relationship stuff on hold. Like, look, like, baby, I got to deal with this. Someone in my family is missing. When I find them, we will talk. And that would just be it. But that's just me. I mean, that's how I would address the situation. And that's kind of how I've been, like, gauging how I handled Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is, like, what would I have done?
Sure.
You know, and kind of, like, that's why, like, I didn't contact you guys on Monday because I probably wouldn't have done that for one of my friends. And not that I'm cold-hearted. It's just, like, that's just not how me and my friends work. So it didn't, you know. So
there's extenuating circumstances that you wouldn't have known that caused her friends to be concerned. Mm-hmm. Just so you know. There's nothing wrong with you for not going, oh, something's wrong and calling the police. The people that provided the information to the police initially had way more information about her than you do. So that's why they came forward. So I can see it, I can feel a little reservation that you're like, why didn't I do something? You didn't know enough. I think a normal person on Monday, a reasonable person is just going, shit, this woman's, you know, whacked out relationship with her husband. She's got 2 kids. Now she's pregnant. She just takes off. So don't blame yourself for not making a phone call to law enforcement or going to the police. You didn't know anything. So I'm just trying to help you get past that. Don't worry about it. Okay. It's not the people that came to us had way more info than you did regarding what was happening with her life.
Okay.
Okay.
So
don't beat yourself up over that. Please don't. Okay.
And then, so Tuesday, after that conversation, I told him, I told him to delete his text because I knew he was like going crazy texting me, and I didn't want any of his friends to see him texting me because I don't think they knew about me. It had nothing to do with you guys. It was just like, and you'll see him,
The secrecy of your relationship.
Pretty much. And I just like feel like he was like texting me so much openly, and he had friends there that I was like, I didn't want them to see that. And so I was like trying to get him to slow down. And then I told him too, like, after he lied to me, I was just kind of like, I was done. And I was trying to find a way to like get away from the situation without alarming him or panicking him. So I told him, like, everything is all good, I'm still here for you, and I feel bad because, like, I lied to him, but, I, like, just try to keep him calm, and then I told him, like, contact me once they find your family. And then we'll talk.
That was Tuesday?
That was Tuesday.
Okay.
And he sent me a text back saying something along the lines of, like, what did he say? Something like, please just think of and like I kept telling him I was scared. I was really freaking scared. In fact, that's another thing I'm missing. I'm so tired. Monday night, like, I called him back in the middle of the night because I could not sleep. I could not sleep at all. And I remember when I called him, he sounded like he was sleeping. And I was like, how the hell can you sleep right now? That's exactly what I said to him. And he was just like, I'm just kind of dozing off and on the couch. And I just remember thinking, like, I haven't shut my eyes yet. And this is not even my family. And so that happened on Monday night. So then I was going somewhere with that had to do with Tuesday. I forgot what it was. I'm so sorry.
Take a breath and relax. We're almost to Wednesday, and then we're out of here.
Yeah. So then, so then once he lied to me, I just really trying to, like, push him away, and he was like, just don't forget, like, the person that you knew me to be when you were with me, or something like that. And, like,
was that strange?
It just kind of sounded almost like a farewell, and, like, I didn't think it was too weird because I was like, I think he realizes that I'm really upset that he lied to me, and I think he's aware of the fact that I'm probably about to walk away from him. So I think that was, like, his way of, like, saying goodbye. So it didn't really seem strange in the context of what was going on between, like, the him and I part of stuff. And then, and I kept asking him too, like, what did you do, Chris? What did you do? And he was like, I didn't do anything. And I'm like, where's your family? And, like, I asked him that. I don't know if I started doing that on Tuesday or if I started doing that on Monday, but I think it was Tuesday, because I don't really think I was that alarmed on Monday. And then, so that was supposed to be, like, our final sign-off text. And then Jim got there at my house, and I was hanging out with Jim. But I was still, like, in my head, just kind of, like, stressed out. And I remember I, like, walked out of the room, went in my bedroom, and texted Chris one more time. And I told him, I was like, if you did something bad, I was like, you're going to ruin your life. And I was like, and if you did something bad, I was like, you're going to ruin my life. And I was like, and I promise you that. And he responded back to me, and he's like, I didn't hurt my family, Nikki. And that was, like, the last text. That was the last time we ever talked. And I never said another word to him after that.
That was Tuesday.
That was Tuesday. And then he left me alone. He gave me the space that I asked him. He respected it. And he didn't, like, mess with me at all.
Was that a phone call where you said?
No, that's all Tuesday. Text Tuesday.
Text Tuesday.
Just call it
all
text Tuesday.
text.
Everything
Okay.
was text. I did not talk to that man on the phone at all that day. I mean, I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was all text. And then...
So at that time in your mind, if you said that, what are you thinking? What were you thinking, that he maybe did something to his family?
Yeah, I started getting really scared.
What caused that thought?
The fact that he lied to me.
Okay.
And that she still wasn't home, and it was day 2. Like, I figure if you're upset for a day, you leave for a day, but you come back. And she wasn't back. And it was, like, midday. And not only that, but, like, She doesn't have her phone. She doesn't have her car. She doesn't have the kid's EpiPen. She doesn't have any of that. So what I'm thinking in my head is like, for a night, if you're really upset, somebody comes one of your friends picks you up, like, okay. But I can't explain that for 2 days. Like, that just doesn't, like, logically process in my mind as something that any woman I know would do. The one-night thing, I know women that would do that. But the 2-night thing, no. And so I'm like, she's still not back. And he just lied to me. And it made me, like, I just started getting scared. And I remember, like, telling him that throughout the whole day. Like, I don't even know how many times I texted him that. I wouldn't be surprised if it's, like, 8-10 times. Where I'm just like, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. And one of the last texts that I sent to him, too, I told him, I said, I'm scared because I feel like I don't know who you are anymore. And
his response to that?
I don't even remember, to be honest with you. I think that was, like, in that, like, sign-off text that I sent to him.
Okay.
But I mean, I was like kind of scared. What I was really scared for was scared for his family's well-being, because it's like, I don't know where these people are at this point, and it's scary. I mean, it's scary that she's gone, but it's even more scary to me that these little girls are gone. Like, that was the part that really freaked me out. Like, if it was just her, I'd be like, well, maybe she took off with somebody, maybe she didn't. I mean, I don't know, because she's a grown woman and she can make those choices.
Was some of the scared, was there fear in you that people were going to find out about your relationship too?
No, I didn't even care about that at that point. I was just,
okay,
like, scared, like, of the situation. It was like getting escalated, and it was freaking me out. And he was just, like, not... He was strange. So another thing, so that was Tuesday, and that was it for Tuesday, but I forgot some stuff on Monday that I did need to bring up to you guys. So Monday, when we were on the phone, at one point, he mentioned to me, I can't even believe I have to say this, she left her wedding ring here. And I said something along the lines of, does that mean you two are done? And he was like, he said, how much do you think it's worth? And I was like, remember hearing him say that and being like, what the fuck? And I remember thinking to myself, like, I don't even know how to respond to this. And so I was like, I don't know, pawn it, man. And I was just like, I pawn jewelry all the time. I was like, I pawn jewelry a few times. I was like, it's not worth shit, though. And I was like, so I don't know if you really want to do that. And he's like, no. I think I'm going to get it appraised. It's a nice rock. And I was just like, okay. And it was, like, really awkward.
And that was on Monday?
That was on Monday night. And that, to me, was, like, it was kind of strange. And then the Tuesday lying thing. Like, I'm telling you, it started, like, Monday night, him saying that was why I couldn't sleep, because he made the comment about the wedding ring.
Okay.
And then Tuesday, her still not coming home, and then him lying to me. And I was just like...
Good morning, guys. Guess what today is? Today, we get to play with makeup by Unique. So I'm super excited. Just got out of the shower. Yeah, I am here. Face is raw. Who's excited about the 12 days? I am. We've already had 31. Max and Madeline, super excited about those two. We have so much coming forward to you guys from Osborne Books. We have wine. We have LuLaRoe. You have Thrive coming up at you. We have